Hello everyone, I'm the Walrus Clown and welcome to Walrus Reviews. And have you ever wanted Scooby-Doo, his cousin Scooby-Dum, and Scrappy to be fused with Three Stooges and be pandas and have the ability to gestalt into a super panda for some reason? No! Of course not! No one ever wanted that! But they did it anyway! I found this one the same way I found Groove Squad, and I really need to learn to turn off my pad before falling asleep. Pandemonium, everyone! Honor! Roll the intro, please!
Pandemonium, Pandemonium!
First of all, I'd like to apologize for the low quality of the footage. The series was never released on video or DVD, and as a result, the only way to watch it is to watch video rips put on YouTube by people who recorded episodes at air. Anywho, on with the review. Pandemonium is a 1982 to 1983 animated series that aired on CBS for only one 13-episode season and was made by MGM Television in collaboration with Intermedia Entertainment and, a lot of you are not going to believe this, but Marvel Productions. Now for the characters. First we have the human characters, Peter and Peggy Darrow. They really don't do anything outside of bicker with one another. Chesty is pretty much Scrappy-Doo from the live-action movies if he were a good guy. Timothy is a coward that sounds like Droopy Dog, and Algernon is the dopey, stupid one. Then we have the only other reoccurring character, Mandragore, who is your basic evil wizard who wants to M-Bison the universe.
Of course!
He has the ability to control wind, fire, thunder, and lightning. On Earth, however, all of his powers disappear except for his ability to control people's minds. As for the show's premise, I could tell you, but why do that when I could just show you while I prepare myself for the drunk stupor I have to get into to handle the opium jag this show calls a premise?
Mandragore, master of evil, steals the magical pyramid of power. Whoever has the pyramid controls the universe. But it falls and explodes in far-off Tibet, its pieces scattering all over the earth. Only an American boy sees the explosion. He and his sister fly there and meet three panda bears who help them fight Mandragore. From the skies, Mandragore controls wind, fire, thunder, and lightning. But on Earth, his powers disappear, and he can only control the minds of others, and they carry out his evil plans. The race to recover the pieces of the pyramid is on. It's Pandemonium!
For those who didn't catch it, this is about Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and Totally has the same voice actress as Alex from Totally Spies using the exact same voiced sister, seeing a meteor falling to Earth, only for it to be pieces of a magic pyramid that an evil wizard is trying to get. They end up in Tibet, where they team up with three pandas named Chesty, Timothy, and Algernon, who were mutated by the magic Shikon Jewel. Excuse me, the pyramid piece, so they can now talk and fuse into a Gestalt super panda called Papa Panda. Pardon me a moment. Personally, I think that letting writers smoke the Crystal Pyramid before making a cartoon pitch was the real problem here. And I really should stop falling asleep with my pad on YouTube with the autoplay function turned on. You'll wake up to terrible, terrible things being on screen. Anywho, the whacked out concept isn't the only problem here. As with anything for the first 3 years of the 80s, before the walls between cartoons and toy marketing were torn down, everything is boring and toned down to the point where any potential this thing might have had is lost under cheap, lazy writing and jokes and ham-fisted moral aesops because of the restrictions put on the American animation industry by the parents' rights groups that had way too much power all throughout the 70s, clear into the 80s, like in the second episode, Chesty Story. After doing a bunch of shenanigans where Rhino uses its horn to poke Chesty in the butt for a cheap yuck, he's discovered by a TV executive who wants to turn him into a star. After some more lazy shenanigans that I think are supposed to be funny but clearly aren't, they cut to them being in a city for Chesty to get his big break after more shenanigans where What's-His-Name leaves his pouch and the one piece of the Shikon Pyramid they got in the first episode in the cab they were riding in. They head for the local zoo for a shoot where it's revealed that the series villain, Mandragore, is using his mind control powers to make the animals do what Chesty tells them to do, and is planning on having the python he's going to fight in the next scene of the movie do something to him. After the one funny joke that actually succeeded in making me chuckle.
Listen, is that the python I'm supposed to fight?
No, this one already had his lunch. You get his big brother.
They, of course, have more unfunny shenanigans! Only for the zoo python to be written out of the movie at the last minute, and then they drive to the TV studio where Chesty is to fight totally not King Kong. Oh, joy bunnies, I hope that one of the main characters doesn't get kidnapped by Donkey Kong and held on top of a skyscraper. After trapping Mandragore in a bottle, I'm not questioning it, why should you? They tell Chesty it was all a sham after pissing off the ape to the point where it breaks free and Algermemaham, the stupid one, saves Chesty. They head for the next pyramid piece, which is on top of a skyscraper. After the stupid one frees Mandragore and he gets his hands on the Shikon pyramid piece and not King Kong gets his hands around him and holds him on top of the skyscraper just like in King Kong. Oh wow, totally didn't see them doing that at all. Anywho, Shaggy catches the pyramid piece after Mandragore drops it, and we learn a valuable lesson of not getting full of ourselves in teamwork or whatever, and we end on a stupid gag and the episode ends. Can you see why this is bad now? The premise is stretched super thin to the point where it snaps in half. Example, if Mandragore can control people's minds, why doesn't he just go to the heads of nations with nuclear capabilities, and then use the threat of nuclear winter to hold the Earth hostage until the governments of the world find and hand over the pyramid pieces to him? If the pandas can gestalt into a super panda that can create an energy shield that can hold back all of Mandragore's powers, why don't we see them use it every time he shows up? If the power pyramid was sentient enough to tell good from evil and make the conscious decision to break itself into multiple fragments to keep itself from evil hands, then why does it have those pieces just sit there waiting for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to come find them?
It just raises too many questions.
And despite my riffing on this premise, I could see it working. If I could paraphrase fellow reviewer Bob Show for a moment, anything can work if you give it proper time and creativity. As for fixing the problems, why not have it take place in a fantasy world instead of the real one? Here, let me show you. 1,000 years ago, an evil wizard named Mandragore sieged the land of Pansanza, land of the pandas, after obtaining the power pyramid, until a hero named Sancho Panza used his power to become Papa Panda and wrestled the pyramid away from him. He shattered it and scattered its remains to the four winds, and imprisoned Mandragore. Now with the stars aligned, Mandragore is now free to find his power once again. And now Sancho's descendants, Chesty, Timothy, and Agamemnon, find that they can fuse into the new Papa Panda after Sancho appears to them in a shared dream. And now together must scour the land, righting the wrongs Mandragore brings, all the while trying to rebuild the pyramid and use his power to end the threat of Mandragore once and for all. See how much better that sounds than what we got? You know what? Disney owned MGM when this was made and still does, and they own Marvel now. Make it happen. It's free. It's on me. You blew it out of the water with the DuckTales reboot, Disney. You can make this work too. Make it happen. Anyway, I'm the Walrus Clown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell. See you next time.
The kids were rattling in their cage, all crying out in fits of rage. I kidnapped them a week ago last spring. They bitched about their hunger pangs, started biting each other with teeth and fangs. And I said, whoa, now there's no need for that. Hey, I know just the thing. I threw them all in a bag, tied the bag to my truck and behind it they dragged all the way to the best cafe in town. Best place around. It's time to feast on polar bears and bats and goats. Let's eat the zoo. Let's force a hippopotamus down your throat. Let's eat the zoo. There ain't no better meal than a three-toed sloth with electric eels or an alligator sauteed in kangaroo. Come on, children, let's eat the zoo.
I am the mighty Mandragore, and you will click on the walrus face and hit subscribe, or watch another video on my mind-controlled command.